What's up, buddy?
Oh my goodness. Is that George Frisch? Courtney Brown together?
Long time coming.
So hold on. So if me and you are together, that means one thing is back,
Yes, sir.
which means another thing, football is back. Oh
Yes,
man,
sir.
I'm excited. Hold on.
It's that fun time of the year again. I'm definitely excited for tomorrow and the short bit this weekend. It's going to be a very fun time. Maybe not so much in the first round. We might have some crazy shakeups, but definitely going to be a fun time. It's always a fun time whenever the draft this year. Obviously, this year without the combine, it's a little weird. But you know what? It's always a good time when we're together and we can start having a little fun.
Right, man. It's a great time. Sorry, I had to connect my beats that I found late,
There you go.
and got my glasses on, man. So now I get to see into the future, see what's going to happen on this Thursday in the NFL
Right,
draft. So it's a good time, man. So
right.
I'm just super excited because first and foremost, you know, a lot has happened since the end of football season. Me and you talk, so you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a Super Bowl. God damn. And they signed all 22 starters, which has never
Just
happened. The
signed
Chiefs
AB
came close.
today.
Yeah, so the Chiefs came close before, but they had, I think, 20 or 19 of the 22. But now the whole Tampa Bay Buccaneers starters is coming. So that happened. Me and you, we got an LLC. So now Loudmouth Entertainment is officially a business. So shout out to you for that.
Yes,
We got some
sir.
new merch coming out this in these next 2-3 months, man. Bombshellbowling.com/loudmouth sports talk. George and I just found out that a forward slash is that one, not a backslash. That was pretty fun. So
That was a
let's
fun
dive in.
15-minute conversation. Also, to get all of our social media, obviously everybody's on Facebook or YouTube right now. But again, we're on IG, we're on Twitter. We might start messing with Twitch. We might start messing with TikTok. But to be able to keep up with us, all you got to do is go to bio.site/loudmouth entertainment, all one word. I'm going to eventually make a graphic for that, but I just haven't been able to yet. But again, you'll be able to go on and find all of our social media on there. And just like our photo just showed, all of our merch. Like Courtney said, we're in the process right now with Miss Michelle and Bombshell to get some new stuff out, some fun slogans so everybody can start rocking that.
So Jason said, I've never been this excited nor this nervous for a draft. He's a 49ers fan. So are we going to try to get Jason on, man? We definitely want to get reaction. And so do you
Yeah,
want to?
Jason, if you want to join, let us know. We'll send you the link.
Yes, sir. Let's do that because I think it's going to be pretty fun. I'm trying to get to our page so I can share it, man. So for me, man, so I had this conversation and people really acted as like it was crazy because it's like when I don't know if you've seen it, but all I was asking was, do we have a problem at drafting black quarterbacks and rating their play? And for some reason, people started to throw the top 25% of quarterbacks are black. And this is happening in the top 4 highest paid people are black. I say, yeah, but do you not forget Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson dropped in the draft. Like, so they got picked over Mitchell Trubisky, like for fucking who knows what. Russ was a 3rd round pick. Dak was a 5th. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like they were drafted high. They just performed. This is going to be the worst draft in a long time for me. What? He's a Washington fan. Let's get your opinion. I'm excited to see what you got to say about that because I think you're going to go the linebacker from Notre Dame. That's who I have on your big board. But what do you? So yeah, I don't know if you've seen my post. I don't know if you've seen a reaction. But all I was asking was just a simple because after the national championship game, I remember very vaguely saying like, I mean, after the Clemson game, I was saying like Lawrence is still number one and it's not even close, but Fields is a close second. Then all of a sudden, from there till now Zach Wilson is ahead of him. Now Mac Jones is ahead of him. Like, what is it? How do you go from being the second, playing at a high level, playing as high as you can, to now you're maybe picked in the first round, in the late first round? How does that happen?
Yeah, I think a lot of the Trey Lance one was intriguing to me, considering he played one game this year. Now, granted, he had a pretty decent year in 19.
Yes.
But for honestly, regardless of skin color or anything, I think the Ohio State bug bit him in the ass the biggest, I'll say. Just because, unfortunately, they don't have the greatest track record of producing NFL talented quarterbacks. And again, we look at analysts like they're godsends, or their word is the word is, I guess, truth. But I don't think again, I didn't watch anybody's really pro day, because just like watching combines, like it's fun for a little bit, but watching guys work out in shorts and t-shirts doesn't really intrigue me or actually say anything to me. So again, I could really care less if you can run to the left and throw the ball to the right pylon, because outside of two quarterbacks maybe in the NFL right now, nobody's really doing that in game. At least not without getting smoked by a D end that's
Right.
hunting them down.
But even still, that quarterback in the Super Bowl was running for dear life. You know, like, so
constantly
497 yards behind the line of scrimmage that he ran. I mean, it's just ridiculous, bro. So I just hate the mentality. Tell me a quarterback that has pure, like, bred all of these. You know, you're coming from me. I hate Ohio State with a burning passion. But it's like,
Yeah.
What has he not shown that he can't do that Zach Wilson can? Like, what has he not done competition-wise that Zach Wilson or Mac Jones won at the highest level, but he also had how many first-round picks he thrown to? Like, so you sit there, if you bite him for one, then you gotta hold Mac Jones to that same accountability. But whatever, neither here nor there. Let's get into your first. Or you want to keep talking about this? The problem is the lacking problem QB in general. There are far too many system head coaches and not enough coaches the QBs to be better professionals. It's what guy is out there to fit the system. I want to run versus here's a good college QB. Let me develop him in an offense around him. I agree, because if you look at Josh Allen, and I say Josh Allen because that's the quarterback that first year to second year was an upgrade, from second to third year a jump. Like, that's how you develop. So Dable is the offensive coordinator up there. Like, he's developed Josh Allen, right? Like, and he continues to do it. I don't think the problem is that the QB coach can't develop him. I think the problem is the QB OC ends up leaving, and now the QB coach, there's a new QB coach. He has a new philosophy. He has a new way he wants to run. Like Sam Darnold. People say Sam Darnold can't ball. Sam Darnold has had 3 offensive coordinators. Like, how many QB coaches? Like, you're not going to succeed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he could have came to Pittsburgh.
And had his all-pro guard trait just cut out of left field.
Right. For nothing.
But, I mean, to, again, Sean's point, a lot of it is an offense coordinator getting a quarterback and saying, "Hey, bro, you're going to run this system," instead of, "Hey, man, like what works for you, what works in our system, and let's ride." Kind of where Russell Wilson has had success, where Kyler Murray has had success. Deshaun Watson had success, but then he had shit around him, so that's very hard. Trying to think. I mean, you see, Derek Carr has made a change because Chucky has kind of developed around him a little bit more. I'm trying to think of any other quarterback. Obviously, your point is, again, a huge one with the amount of success he's changed. Again, we saw a sophomore slump in Lamar Jackson.
But hold on. I'm glad you brought that up because, like, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like Lamar Jackson's problem isn't him. He's outgrown the system. Like, people kept comparing Lamar Jackson. Bro, the system for Lamar Jackson is so plain and basic. He has no more room to develop. There's no more reads. There's no more anything. Plus, when your best receiver is 5'9", I don't want to hear that he has weapons. Like, give him Stephon Diggs and put Stephon Diggs on the fucking Baltimore Ravens. I guarantee you they wouldn't say Lamar Jackson can't throw the rock. Like, everybody, it kills me when I hate Lamar Jackson. Like, bro, you know me. I consider him one of the top 3-5 best quarterbacks. But also, that's because the lack of talent versus how he plays. People continuously say he's a running quarterback. No, he is not. If you watch any football game, he is going to stand in the pocket until there's pressure. The problem is there's so much pressure that he's always running. Like, I hate hearing the notion that all of a sudden he's a mobile quarterback and a running back. No, he's not. He's a quarterback that will stand in the pocket, deliver a throw. It might not be accurate, and you can talk about his accuracy and how he develops, but his system is so bland and basic. There's no room to grow. Like, give Lamar Jackson Sean McVay and see how bad he looks. Give Lamar Jackson, like, imagine if the 49ers made a trade for Lamar Jackson. You're telling me the 49ers won't be in the NFC Championship? Shit. Okay. I would love to see it. Like, that's ridiculous. I know if I was a Pittsburgh fan, we have offensive coordinators that suck, so I wouldn't put them on our team.
Yeah, up until this year.
Yeah.
Which, again, it'll be to be determined. But, yeah, I mean, his top targets, obviously, this is from going into this year. I can look at last year, but, I mean, Marquise Brown was his top receiver. Sammy Watkins is going to be potentially an ad for him. I still feel like a huge thing they need to look at is, again, more wide receiver weapons from him. Again, Mark Andrews was a huge target for him. But, like, I mean, we still make the cracks that he's a running back and throw the ball. But like you said, that's part of the system that Greg Roman has developed to do for him and honestly has hurt him. And it also doesn't help whenever you have trash wide receivers that can't get open. And that's the only thing that you're able to do to create anything. I also feel like without the weapons, they're causing him to try to create too much,
right?
Which, again, in the same sentence, doesn't help.
Jason, we'll get to you in a little bit. We're about to start our top 10. So the first round.
Let's bang on our two picks, and then San Francisco can be on the clock.
Right. So,
but obviously, we all know Jacksonville is going to get Trevor Lawrence, which, to your point with Justin Fields, he played under Urban, didn't he?
He did. he did. He was
No,
there.
not really. He was there,
No,
but
he
didn't really play under him.
didn't really play. Yeah.
But again, everybody was pointing towards Urban going after an Ohio State quarterback, which he's not even going after an Ohio State quarterback. But
Right.
again, I wouldn't pass over Trevor either. But as we can assume, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the first overall pick in the 2021 draft.
Right.
No real shocker. The only shocker is what's going to happen to Minshew Mania after Sunshine comes down to Jacksonville. Do they trade him? Do they try to use him in this draft to trade back in at some point? It's interesting to see what happens to Minshew Mania, especially since I feel like that town has kind of bought into him a little bit.
Well, I think you keep him and he becomes a vet now because he's in his third year, so he can be a QB to help lead. And I think the biggest thing is that Jacksonville, they have to protect him. Like, their offensive line. And it shows with the Bengals, and I'll get into the Bengals because a lot of people are thinking about that Bengals pick. So I got a nice one for you. I got a little shocker, because people want to, there's some answers, but it starts, let's be honest. And Pat Mahomes and the entire Kansas City Chiefs, they showed how important, the offensive line is. So the first thing you need to do, if you got Trevor Lawrence, just like with Joey Burrow, that the Bengals didn't do, protect him. Like, Pat Mahomes, as great as he is, looks like an average to not good quarterback against that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense when they prepare for him. He was running for dear life. Now he lost his left two tackles. Now they reloaded. They got Orlando Brown. They got Cal Long, who came back from retirement. So I'm excited to see how that's going to roll. But I think it's obvious that Trevor Lawrence, and people talk about it. I'm willing to say if Trevor Lawrence left last year, I don't know if Joey Burrow was the number one pick. Like, it would have been pound for pound. Maybe they give it to Joey because he won a national championship over Trevor. But Trevor Lawrence, all his life, has been the number one guy. Even with Justin Fields, they were recruited together. They were recruiting at the same time, and Fields was number two behind him. So I'm excited to see what happens with the offensive line. See if Urban can protect his guy.
Yeah. So, two with the New York Jets. So far, it seems like a consensus pick, but it's going to be Wilson out of BYU. Still pretty intrigued by that. Zach Wilson. At times, he looked like a very raw Johnny Manziel. But again, BYU kind of got fucked by Corona. They were supposed to have a legit schedule, which would have been very interesting to actually see how BYU would have played. Obviously, they handled the people that were in front of them up until they ran into Coastal Carolina. Which, again, Coastal was another team that they were playing David to essentially BYU's Goliath, and they took him on. Again, they smoked the Raging Cajuns twice. But,
damn, Raging Cajuns. I was so excited about them.
But, again, I'm not surprised by this pick because it is the New York Jets. But, again, we'll see how it pans out. You never know. But same thing with the Jets. There's a reason they're number 2 in the draft. So they got a lot of reworking to do, and it's going to be very interesting.
So, obviously, we know that everybody thinks they're going to go Zach Wilson, but why? Like, here's the biggest thing for me with the Jets. When you say, I'm going Zach Wilson, after you trade Sam Darnold, that means all your shit together, right? In my opinion. Because the biggest thing for me is, again, George, we're investing a lot of money into you. You're our guy. You're our franchise. How the fuck is he your franchise when you couldn't even protect Sam Darnold. So now you're going to go from Sam Darnold, who I think is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson, his body of work, his ability as a quarterback, you're downgrading, and then you give him less after you done traded everybody? Come on, bro. So it's like the Jets, I hope you go freaking, I would hope Zach Wilson gets paid, but if you don't go Penei Sewell, but they don't have a quarterback. So now they have to go Zach Wilson, don't they? Because you get rid of Sam Darnold, you have to go them. So
yeah, you have
whatever.
to go them. As of right now, they're I don't even know who the hell these people are. So as of right now, the Jets pretty much have to go quarterback in my mind, because right now their starting quarterback or quarterback room consists of James Morgan and Mike White, whoever the fuck those people are. Again, they got a lot of work on their offensive line as well. Mike White is apparently out of Western Kentucky. And like I said, they got a lot of work on their entire roster. So you can only assume they're going to be going quarterback. Again, Zach Wilson, for one reason or another, has drawn the eyes of the Jets. Maybe eventually down the line, we'll figure out what that draw was. But at least right now, the Jets don't.
The OC is Cal Shanahan's brother, right? Oh, no. It's Mike LaFleur, little brother. It's Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's little brother. That's the OC for the Jets.
Yeah.
Mike LaFleur. He's Matt's younger brother.
Maffei.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So now
it does make sense, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So in comes Jason with the 49ers on the clock.
What's up,
buddy?
Man?
All righty. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on here.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yep.
Can you hear me good? Okay,
yep.
Just making sure.
Yep.
All righty.
So it's been long. Let me set this up for you. For you. So the 49ers, man, they have Jimmy G. Whatever, he plays well, then doesn't. He misses a long ball in the Super Bowl that would have won y'all it. 49ers fan have a bad taste in your mouth. Last year, it was a rough year. So many injuries, so many guys down. Still don't play bad. Still don't play bad. And then now all of a sudden, you jump up in the draft. You're the number 3 pick. We heard Justin Fields for a couple of weeks. Then it was like, oh, okay, no, Mac Jones is the guy. Now it's like Mac Jones, like Shanahan's want Mac Jones, but then the scouting department wants Trey Lance. Now it's like, who are the 49ers getting at the 3rd pick? I know I have a guy. George has a guy. You have a guy. So go ahead, man. Let's talk. Let's hear from the 49ers fan. How you feeling?
It's, in my opinion, it's Justin Fields. And the reason for that is I think the silence around Justin Fields speaks louder than the noise around Trey Lance and Mac Jones. Every single year, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch know exactly who they're picking, and nobody knows. Brandon Ayuk last year was not projected in mock drafts. Javon Kinlaw was not projected in drafts last year. Nick Bosa, this is where it gets really interesting. Nick Bosa was not projected. Well, okay, some people had him mocked to the 49ers, but the consensus was, if you remember back in 2019, was Quinnen Williams, because they took him out to IHOP. Everyone was like, okay, it's probably going to be Quinnen Williams. Well, what exactly happened? And the way I see it is, here it is. It's an Alabama player and an Ohio State player again. The 49ers look like they're trading Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know. But if they trade Jimmy Garoppolo, it is not Trey Lance. So I honestly, the rumors have been Trey Lance or Mac Jones. I honestly think it's Justin Fields or Mac Jones, and I personally believe it's going to be Justin Fields. And I'm trying not to be biased because I prefer Justin Fields, but that's my pick. That's who I think they're going to go with.
You do have a good
So
point.
you're going
Go
Justin
ahead.
Fields.
Yes. But I'm not going
Go
to be
ahead, Jordan.
surprised if it's any of those three.
So to your point, again, like you pointed out, like they've always been very secretive. So the idea that Trey Lance and Mac Jones has gotten, I guess, the most press out of their own mouths has been very interesting. So Justin Fields wouldn't be a complete shock outside of obviously all the analysts saying that he might fall down mid-pack or whatever. But it would be very interesting considering the Patriots are also rumored to want him. So it would be a very funny, almost backhand to the Patriots if they picked up Justin Fields.
Well, see, it's interesting with the Patriots. They're not getting a quarterback unless they draft up.
Yeah.
They're not.
I don't know.
Or if
so
they
for
trade for
me-
Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, so I don't say that because the thing you've seen out of the Patriots this year that they've never done for their entire Bill Belichick run is spend money in the offseason, which tells me Bill Belichick is on a mission and he'll do anything he can to win. So I'm not gonna say, I don't know, man, like, especially because I think Trey Lance is not getting his due diligence because where he played and the fact that he didn't play last year. And I think that's so bad because to me, Trey Lance is the best quarterback not named Trevor Lawrence. Like, from everything you want to do from a quarterback aspect of how you play the game of football. Like, if Trey Lance would have came out last year, he would have been ahead of everybody not named Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Like,
Yeah.
so I think it's hard. Like, I think it's hard for me, like, which is why my number 3, I'm going to go Mac Jones. Because if the Patriots get Jimmy G, they're going to draft, like, I think Mississippi State, Kellen Mack. Oh, shit. Yo, he just, I was literally saying this as he typed it. Like, Kelly Mond out of A&M or Kyle Trask are perfect for the Patriots. Whoever they got. Even if they don't get Jimmy G. But I think Mac Jones is going to be the 49ers pick because if you look at quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan has developed, Kirk Cousins, right? Like Case Keenum, who
Matt
models
Schwab,
them
Matt
to?
Ryan.
Right, Matt Schwab, Matt Ryan. Who is that when you look at it? Like,
I hear
it's
you
Mac
on that.
Jones.
I hear you on that, and that's where it's just I've been bouncing back and forth these last days, weeks, on who I actually think the 49ers will legitimately take. But Kyle Shanahan's press conference with John Lynch, I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He kind of showed his cards a little bit there. He said he's looking for a quarterback that could throw like Drew Brees and that could run like Lamar Jackson. Which quarterback to you is that? It's certainly not
Justin
Mac
Fields.
Jones.
Right.
It's Justin Fields.
But also,
Yeah.
it's Trey Lance. No, that's Trey Lance. Trey Lance has better accuracy than Justin Fields. Like, if you look at the
I
tape,
don't know
and
if
I think you can look at his 2019 tape and look at his tape, even though, like, people always say, like, competition versus who you play in on a big stage. It's not like he has national recruits out there either. You know what I mean? Like, he's not running with Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and those guys. You know, he's running with guys in the situation that he's in. That dude can make any throw. And the thing is, he can be so much better in the pocket. You know, like, he's very athletic, but he can be better and he's coachable. And that's why when he said that to Drew Brees, but Lamar Jackson, Trey Lance fits that more than Justin Fields because Justin Fields can't throw like Drew Brees, in my opinion.
I don't necessarily agree. I hear you on the Trey Lance argument, if you will. really the throwing like Drew Brees and running like Lamar Jackson could be really be affiliated with both of the quarterbacks. It's just not
Right.
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
So you got Justin Fields going number 3.
Yes.
Yeah. I followed with Courtney with Mac Jones, but now that you said that, I mean, Justin Field, it's almost like, hey, look over here while we go over here. Basically what they've been doing the last couple of years. So I still feel like I'm staying with Mac Jones, but Justin Fields, I mean, honestly, it still opens it up to all three, but the skill set that
Right.
Shanahan's looking for definitely narrows it down to Fields and Trey Lance, which either in the Bay City,
Or what he's supposedly looking for.
right? But either in the Bay City could be very interesting. Anything? Any other?
And
Any
this is the way I look
shockers
at it.
you expect? Or go ahead.
The way I look at it is I would be happy with any of the three. I have obviously a quarterback that I prefer over the other two, but I would be happy with all three because I honestly think that any of the three quarterbacks on the 49ers could be successful and will be successful.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you guys can stay away from the injury bug this year. That
Jeez,
was
yeah.
obviously the most brutal part.
Right, and
Well-
I'm glad you said that, but because I actually forgot to bring this up. Justin Fields' toughness is something that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have to love. You know, he played through which game was it? He got cracked.
It was the
And-
semifinal. It was the semifinal
Against Clemson.
against Clemson in the semifinal, and he played against Alabama. The thing that scares me, and the only reason why I say Justin Fields, his weak spot, Justin Fields versus the blitz. All year long, the hardest thing he struggled with was the blitz. Him being able to read coverages in disguise and understand what they're trying to do to him. He got very confused multiple times, multiple games. But his toughness is the like. But Sean says Cal is going to go with Trey Lance. Cal had short, small QBs in Washington. He had the pro-type QBs in Atlanta. Cal wants the new Cam Newton with a better arm. Hey, man. So I think the argument can be made for all three. But, you know, I just look at Kyle Shanahan's track record. He's going to go with Mac Jones. But I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's definitely a fun one to think about. But so let's pick.
Yeah. So I just flipped over to Facebook real quick on my computer. Just looking, the first thing that pops up was Pro Football Talks mock draft, and they had Justin Fields going to San Fran as, again, their top one. Which, again, it could be very interesting.
Right.
It will be. Here's something else to think about. Whenever Washington drafted Robert Griffin, who was the offensive coordinator of that team? Do you know?
Shanahan.
It was
Kyle
Kyle
Shanahan was.
Kyle Shanahan, he was under. Did he? I don't think he was. No, he was the QB's coach at that time. Jay
Was he?
Gruden was the. Yeah, I think he was the QB's coach. I don't think but he would have been the one in the room. He would have had to say he was either the. Let's look it up. Give me a second.
Yeah, now you got me questioning myself because I swear he was the offensive coordinator. Maybe I'm wrong. Damn, I'm not going to see him and say I know everything I don't.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Where's that? 2010 Shanahan left the Texans to join his father. The Redskins, Shannon, in 2012, he was whatever. Yeah, 2013, he was fired. Robert Griffin was what year did he come out?
Gee, I don't know. No, it had to have been. I think it was 2012 because wasn't he the same year as Andrew Luck?
Yeah, 2012. Yep.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I get what you. He probably. I think he was there, and then got fired at the end of the year. It was Colin McVay.
And okay,
That's crazy.
So the next thing that
the Redskins had McVay and Cal under their wing, and both of them.
They came under the same tree.
That's crazy. But before you go ahead. Give us your last thought before we get this moving.
So the one reason that I want Justin Fields, well, not the one, there's a lot of reasons, but here's the thing about the 49ers offense. Everyone in Kyle Shanahan's offense can run the damn ball. You saw Deebo Samuel, you saw Brandon Ayuk, you saw our goddamn tight end, Kittle, taking snaps at running back, running the ball. All right, so if we got all these guys that can run the ball, the last thing that we need, there's still holes, but we just need a quarterback that can run the ball. All right. I want that extra element to the 49ers offense. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's good to have you on. We're going to move forward. Let's see if you're right. We'll probably do a show during the draft tomorrow, maybe a little late night reaction because everybody will be on. So
I'll be there.
We'll see what happens, man.
Sure.
So you got Justin Fields at number 3 for the 49ers.
Locking in.
All right, big
All right,
dog.
Jason. Thanks, brother.
So now moving on to the next pick, we have the Atlanta Falcons. I personally think if they're smart, they go Kyle Pitts. I think it would be hard to not get Kyle Pitts at the number they are. They have a couple holes, but I think with Matt Ryan, is Julio going to get traded? What's going to happen with them? Are they in a rebuild? That's what scares me because if Julio gets traded, then this pick has to be somebody else, right? It either has to be Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, right?
No, I mean, if Julio gets traded, I feel even though Pitts is listed as a tight end, he's a big body wide receiver. You're not going to see him really in a 3-point stance. You're not going to catch him blocking very often. He's going to be a stand-up tight end, a split-out tight end. He's going to be a mismatch kind of guy, which is a perfect – I mean, he's not going to be a number one like Julio is, but he's going to be a big body mismatch that is going to replace Julio Jones in a sense, especially since the rest of their wide receivers are kind of that middle to light body. So I think that Kyle Pitts there is going to be their best bet to at least right there. Because potentially with trading Julio, they can either get back into the first or they can at least get into a day 2 pick or multiple day 2 picks. Again, you hope that with Julio Jones, you get a first rounder stacking multiple people. Because again, hopefully they can keep Julio, but adding a guy like Kyle Pitts with Calvin Ridley, I thought they had more people that I'd actually recognize.
No,
I mean, they just got Cortland Patterson, but he's more of a special teams guy. I mean, I still can't believe Matt Schaub is in the fucking league. But again, Matt Ryan's getting old in the teeth or long in the tooth. And you can imagine in the second round or in the second day, they're going to probably go for a quarterback because Matt Schaub is not going to be able to do that very much longer. But yeah, I got to go with Kyle Pitts. The only other thing that I saw was them maybe going with Penei Sewell, but I don't think you draft a Penei Sewell to replace a Jake Matthews, and Penei's a left tackle. He could play right tackle. He's been training on it, but I mean that kid's going to be a franchise left tackle. And again, I kind of got a shocker whenever we get to a couple rounds or a couple picks down that I think that I might see some thunder and lightning happening to get Sewell.
So, which brings us to pick number 5. We have the Cincinnati Bengals.
Or again, so your consensus too with Pitts going to Atlanta?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because now we go to the Cincinnati Bengals, and now this is going to be the most interesting pick because the Bengals did sign Riley Reef this offseason, but I just think it's impossible to pass up on Penei Sewell right now. Like, protect your damn quarterback at any means necessary. Even if Penei has to play guard for a year, I don't give a goddamn. You pick his ass up. You say, hey, bro, we need you. We got Riley Reef's old ass. We're going to have him be the anchor until he fucks up. Then we need you to step in. Like, come on. I just like Jamar Chase would be a nice pickup for the Bengals. The chemistry with, Joey Burrow from playing in college. And that's why I guess smart thinking, I go Penei Sewell. But knowing that Joey Burrow gets whatever he wants because this is his team, and it's very obvious he said before he was even a part of the Bengals, he said, I want AJ Green. Give me him. You know what the Bengals said? Yep, absolutely. Whatever you need. Right? So then now he's probably like, yo, my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? Did you see what we did in college? You didn't give me Justin Jefferson. Did you see what we did in college? Hey, give me him. I need him. So I'm gonna go with Penei Sewell. I want to go with Penei. I'm gonna go with Penei. Let's go.
So
you can.
I got 2 options here. One's going to be a shocker. One's going to be obviously understood. Jamar Chase, I think, is the Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengal pick.
Right.
Obviously, like you just described, their chemistry, but it doesn't make as much sense aside from the chemistry and adding another weapon for him. Since again, you have Tyler Boyd, you have T. Higgins that you just picked up last year. Before we talked about this, I should have looked up their depth chart because there's another young cat that they have that did well last year. But my shocker, the other Mike Thomas is also there.
From Ohio State.
And,
no,
the other one.
Oh, okay.
And then Auden Tate is the other guy that was that came onto the scene last year. But my shocker is they pass on Penei. If they go a tackle, they pass on Penei Sewell and they go with Slater. That was my shocker.
I can see that.
No other good reason than they said that he's had visits and they've liked him a little bit better. But Penny's still my dog. I personally feel like there is a better connection out there for him, and we're going to get that here shortly.
Wait,
But
hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna go with, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna raise your crazy up a little bit. Okay? Listen to this. What if they go Jeremiah Onsu Komara more from fucking Notre Dame?
Outside linebacker.
Yeah, but he's going to be an inside linebacker in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
because he played like what Jalen Smith did. They were similar.
yeah.
Because listen, guess who the Bengals get back this year that didn't play a single snap last year? Jonah Williams. He didn't play at all last year. He was out for the year with a torn ACL or broken ankle, whatever the fuck it was. So they get him back. Then they signed Riley Reef. They had Michael Jordan playing guard, Billy Price at center, who they did not pick his fifth-year option up, which means they could, which they probably won't, go for an interior guy. But they have Jonah Williams. So what did they say? I don't know if I want to go, because like you said, they have Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Mike Thomas. If Kyle Pitts is available, then we grab him. But right now they have Jermaine Pratt, they have Logan Wilson, Akeem Davis Gather playing backer for them. I don't know who those guys are, but I can guarantee you the kid from Notre Dame is probably going to be a better freaking option than them. So I'll raise your crazy, and I'm gonna go super.
Or crazy, and they go with Parsons.
Yeah. But I
feel like Cincy, without moving, could potentially have the weirdest pick at 5.
Agreed.
So, we're not the crazy yet.
Okay.
So we're at 6, which on my list, and I should share this. I didn't put a player's name. I put Bama wide receiver. So just like Joey Burrow, I feel like the Dolphins have kind of laid their cards out with not bringing back Ryan Fitzmagic, and kind of gave 2 of the keys to the kingdom for the most part. So I can only assume that it is either going to be Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, which neither's really a bad pick, but it's all, I guess, going to boil down to what they see in that guy. Obviously, from what we saw in the first half of the national championship, Smith knows what to do once the ball is in his hands. The dude's a stud, regardless how people want to look at his size. And I love his tweet from the other day, even though coming from a hog, him saying it's the NFL, this isn't a bodybuilding contest. Watch my work. That was awesome because obviously size plays a part, but whenever my man's smoking corners down the sideline, doesn't matter if he's 170 pounds or DK Metcalf that's 145 pounds. So I think it's just going to be one of the Bama wide receivers. And like I said, with that 6th pick, I don't foresee very many difference because they do need help.
So, again, what's been my theme this entire draft? Protect your money. Okay? So you're talking about Devontae Smith, great pick, right? Cool. Waddle, great pick. Do you know it's not a great pick? Picking either of them when you have freaking, let's see their starting left tackle, Austin Jackson. Sure. Let's see their starting right tackle, Jesse Davis. Sure. Do you know there's a guy out there? His name is Rashawn Slater, and he's a freaking killer, and he's a beast, and he's a goon. He's a god. Oh, okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin, right? You got this guy available. Protect your money. If you don't go Rashawn Slater or Penei Sewell, who would have been available by you on your draft board right now, what are you doing? Protect your money. That's how I feel. I'm going with
Yeah, I mean, the only advantage, or I mean, the one big advantage Miami has is they still have a pick at 18 as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the scary part for the Steelers as well, because Najee Harris is also in their crosshairs. But I haven't seen where people were expecting their 18th pick to be, but I feel like they're going to go wide receiver first, and then at 18 start playing some games. But I think it's going to be very interesting. At least, like I said, so far for me, outside of Cincy potentially getting Penei Sewell, he's still on the board as of right now to pick number 7, where this is where I really bring the crazy. Actually, not that crazy, but a little crazy. So, as we know, Detroit just got, had it and I lost it. Jared Goff. They're also rebuilding a lot. So, in my mind, they're going to drop back a little bit. And again, whenever I made the comment about Thunder and Lightning, I think the Chargers are going to come up to 7 with throwing some picks at the Detroit Lions, and we're going to see a bring back of the Oregon Ducks, and you're going to see Penei Sewell reunited with Justin Herbert at 7.
Sign me up. I'm getting me a baby powder blue because, man, the Chargers, listen, the Chargers, have you not seen what they did in the offseason? They said, hey, bro, listen, we need you to survive. So I'm going to bring in Matt Fowler. I'm going to bring in a nasty dude with the Muslim name from the Lions from last year. You need a center? I'm going to bring you Lindsley. But guess what? I don't have a right tackle for you, dog. But I'm going to draft one. I got you. Go Ducks.
They've been talking about it a lot, about the Chargers drafting or moving up in the draft to make that reuniting happen. With the amount of holes Detroit has to fill, I think it's a potential, especially if there's some sprinkling of day 2 picks in there, even day 3, depending on what the Lions all have on their board. But that's my one big trade, at least in the top 10 that we were looking at.
Okay.
But yeah, Penei Sewell with the reuniting of Justin Herbert, I think would be sweet. But that's my 7. So to you, sir, is your pick for Detroit, unless you've also decided to make a trade.
Who did you say was my pick?
Detroit at number 7 on the clock.
I say they have to go. I'll go Jalen Waddle pending that trade. Jalen Waddle, I think you have to look at them. Like, Terrell Williams and Brashad Perryman are not going to cut it as your number ones. Like, they could be good players. You losing Galladay is just ridiculous. So I think for me, those have to be your options. Jalen Waddle has to be. unless you want to go with a guy like what's his name from Minnesota. No, because I just don't think there's any receiver like
I
up
like the
there
kid
with
from
Jalen.
Minnesota, but it's not Waddle and not Devontae Smith.
Right, right. Like Rashad Bateman is his name. Like he's good,
Yeah.
but he's not Jalen Waddle. Like Jalen Waddle, he had a broken ankle in a draft, and he still showed everybody. He showed everybody why he's that top guy. Everybody was saying like, bro, what are you doing? Like every NFL guy's like, bro, protect your career, get your money. Why are you playing in the national championship? And he's
Waddle's like, nah, fuck it.
He's like, because I'm Jalen Waddle. I'm going to work hard, and it don't matter. So I think Jalen Waddle would have to be that pick, bro. Like, I just don't see it. Unless they – but Detroit, the thing is, you give away Matt Stafford when you couldn't protect him. And now I think the new coach is going to do great things, but you got to build somewhere. And I always say, I've been saying it all day, protect your guy. So it makes sense on why the Chargers jump up, because do the Lions get Penei Sewell? Like right now, you're saying Sewell is going to drop down to 7, maybe? Like, I just don't see it, man. This dude is a beast.
Again, how I'm looking at my current draft board, I mean, I feel like people are not so much sleeping him, but aren't looking at O-line, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think, but it makes sense because then now, the transition get into our 8th pick. So I'll go with Jalen Waddle. You'll go with that super trade, and they jump back. I like that. That's a very good trade. But it leads me to my number 8 pick. So now they have Sam Darnold. And, last year, the Carolina Panthers drafted all defensive players. For the first time, I think it's the first time it ever happened. They drafted all defense guys because they was like, our defense needs to step it up. But they got Joe Brady. Joe Brady is going to bring out the best in Sam Darnold. And who do they have at receiver? Let me look at their depth chart real quick.
Corey Anderson, I know, is one.
Yeah, Corey Anderson, which, by the way, Robbie Anderson.
Right, yeah, that guy too.
Yeah, he gets no love. He gets no respect. And he's a dog. So they have DJ Moore, Robert Anderson, David Moore, and then they have Kirkwood and Markin McKay. But their defense still needs help, and they need a corner. And so my pick is either going to be Patrick Surtain from Alabama or Horn from South Carolina. I think they need a corner who will take away a field. Patrick Surtain, if nobody watched him play, please look at his highlight tape. He's a dog. He's unbelievable. He's like Minkah Fitzpatrick. He gives you that feeling, but he plays corner. He's going to be a corner. He's going to be a lockdown guy. So I think they're going to go with a corner. But if Penei Sewell is available, how does Carolina pass them up when their starters' names are Cameron Irving and Taylor Martin? Who the fuck are those?
So I will take your defensive pick and also choose defense, but instead of Surtain or Horn, I think they're going to go with Caleb Fairley out of Virginia Tech. He's had a lot of hype. We were joking about it at work today. I feel like he has gotten a lot more hype out of analysts than he's actually worth. But I feel like he is the prettier pick, I'll say. I think Horn is still honestly the better corner, but a lot of people also had Fairley going to Carolina. Both of us are on the same page that I think is going to be a defensive guy. Obviously, with Roll down there still doing what he did with defense last year, and then looking at defense this year, I think he's going to continue to build that defense wins championships and kind of continue to roll
The biggest of
there.
the biggest advantage um I give over, like, I give Sertan and um Horn over Fairley because I really like him. He's a really, really, like, listen to this. I had Fairley going to Pittsburgh because um Miami's going to take Najee Harris.
Najee,
But
you're right first.
no, he had an interview. He was like, "Bro, my name is literally
Oh, it's Najee.
G," and he's like, "I don't know why people make it so difficult." Like, you watch it.
Well,
Who's he talking?
that's like Tyrod. It's Tyrod instead of Tyrod or whatever.
Yeah. So I think it's Bama kids on defense, bro. You just know that they're going to be football players. Like, and he fits their system. You know what I mean? Like, he can zone, he can play man, he can play two under, he can play whatever you need. He can play safety, he can play anything. So it's good that me and you are on the same page as far as corner and getting them. Which brings me to this pick, dude. This pick is so confusing because I feel like they have so many different things that they need to work on. Number 9, the Denver Broncos. Who do they go? Do they go Trey Lance? Is Trey Lance going to be available? Is he going number 3? Is he going number 9? What is he doing? I don't know. Who do the Denver Broncos go with, bro?
So a lot of people are saying out of Trey Lance or Justin Fields, whoever's left there, or if both of them are available, it's going to really fuck things up.
Right.
But I think now with Denver trading for Teddy Ballgame today, I still think Denver likes Drew Lock.
Yeah.
I went a little different. So this is where my Parsons pick comes in. So I think Denver goes defense here, and you're going to get a linebacker at number 9 with Parsons, and it's going to help kind of round out their linebacking core. So again, they run a 3-4 up in Denver, but again, just like the Steelers have grown to, they run a bunch of sub packages, which at least right now their linebackers are Bradley Chubb, Alexander Johnson, Jose Joel, which they just drafted last year, and Von Miller that is coming off of an injury. Right. I think that they are going to get another plugging sideline to sideline kind of linebacker, which is going to be Parsons.
Right.
I liked him, and obviously we watched him in 2019. He sat out this past year to obviously get ready for this occasion. The Denver Broncos also just brought in Kyle Fuller from Chicago. And they just brought, Ronald Darby's had his fair shake at being a pretty good corner. But yeah. I think adding a linebacker like Parsons really helps them on defense more than another quarterback. And again, Cortland Sutton looked nice last year. Jerry Jeudy looked nice last year. And then obviously KJ Hamler. I feel like with Teddy Ballgame there to kind of push Drew Lock, I think we might be seeing a different offense.
Do you know what didn't help last year? Freaking Garrett Bowles. Have you seen him play left tackle? He can't do it. You know what would help? Freaking Rashawn Slater. freaking Penei Sewell, freaking Tevin
Tevin.
Jenkins, freaking do you want to continue? I can keep going, dog. You can go with Davis from Tennessee.
You know what's sad?
You can go with what's that?
You know what's sad?
Sorry.
No, you're good. But like Garrett Bowles has regressed ever since Munchak has got there, which is weird,
Right.
in my opinion.
Right.
Because I feel like outside of offensive line coaches that I've actually watched work, I feel like Munchak was the hog whisperer. But for whatever reason, Garrett Bowles just has had a rough last year. When he first came into the league, I really liked him. But man, he had a rough year. Your guy that again is up there from the Wolverines that sounds like a Key and Peele skit, Lloyd Christianberry III. I liked him in his rookie year. And like we were joking about it today at work, people keep saying the offensive line depth is crazy in this draft. But whenever you have so many teams, in my opinion, looking for linemen, is it really that deep?
Yes. Because just let me name some tackles that are out there. Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, Tevin Jenkins, Liam Eichenberg, Dylan Renants, Christian Darrisaw. And then if you want to continue, guys, Brady Christensen is still there. Like
Alex Leatherwood.
Right, Leatherwood. I didn't even mention him. And then and that's just tackle. Then you look at guards.
Leatherwood's a guy that I hope that just gets under the radar. We get Najee Harris, and Leatherwood falls into our lap, and now we have a 3-tackle fight for 2 tackle positions.
Right. But then you got like Elijah Vera Tucker from USC, who's good. Wyatt Davis, Quentin Miners, whatever. I can't pronounce his name. Sorry. But yeah, for me, it's hard. It will be hard to see a tackle not go in top 10.
So, rat trap on your toe. Who you going with 9?
Rat trap on my toe. Who do I go with at 9? I'll go Trey Lance.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to go Trey. No, I don't. I take that back. I'm sorry. I don't go Trey Lance. All right. If you want me to I go Rashawn Slater. Final answer.
Slater, I like. So, obviously, now we got number 10. And, again, I had Fairley going to Carolina, which opens Dallas up big time. I think they go also defense. It's going to be 8, 9, 10 as defense on my board. I originally had Horn, but now thinking about it, I think they go with Surtain at 10 with Dallas to finish out our top 10.
Okay, so you got Surtain. I had Horn. And I'm going to go
you're
with
on the
Horn.
same page.
Yeah, I have Horn going there because Surtain I have going to Carolina.
Yeah, earlier.
And I just don't see Farley is this pick 2. He's up there. You have Farley going to Carolina, which means Surtain for you is the second best option, which means he would go there, which it makes sense. So we're on the same page again, but Dallas needs a corner. And I think, J.C. Horn, because the thing is, they have Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis is coming back. Trayvon Diggs looked really good last year towards the end. So to Surtain, or I can see Surtain, but I already got him off the board. Farley, I don't think you can put him in a situation where he needs to survive in Dallas his first year. I think he needs work. But that's only because he didn't play last year. Like, how is that going to play? You know, J.C. Horn last year was trapping dudes all year long, put the clamps on him. So, and I just like his physical edge. Dallas needs a physical corner who is going to get up and make tackles, you know, and be nasty. And that's Horn.
Yeah.
Horn is going to do that. So, to round up my top 10, I'll go J.C. Horn. And then let me throw something crazy at you. If Justin Fields is on the board, the New York Giants trade to the New England Patriots, and the Patriots get Justin Fields.
Like I said, I've continued to see New England likes Justin Fields, and if he's there past a certain point, I could see them making strides to go get him, especially since they have draft capital.
Right.
They can make those moves.
Yeah.
I didn't have any real crazy things that I can think of.
So, do you think?
But yeah,
So for me, the crazy thing that I could think of is what was it? Oh, I see Miami. No, who am I thinking about?
the only thing I could think of is both ETN and Harris being off the board by 24. And I still think at that point, the Steelers see which offensive lineman's there, and I see them going offensive tackle with whoever is there as the highest graded tackle.
See, the only reason why I say I don't see ETN and Harris being off is because listen to these teams that get to pick. So you got the Eagles, who have Miles Sanders. Shout out to the boy, Miles Sanders. You got Oregon, who is not looking for a running back. Minnesota,
Oregon?
they're not. Yeah, I mean, well, the Chargers, they're Oregon.
Yeah.
But Minnesota is not looking for a running back. The Giants have Saquon coming back. The Dolphins, they could be looking for a running back. But
Well, right now,
think,
Steelers and Dolphins are in the Harris race. That's it.
Yeah, but just look. So what I'm saying is, like, the Dolphins, I think they go tackle. I think they're going to get Penny. And then I also think they're going to get Elijah Vera Tucker from USC. I don't think with that second pick in the first round, I think they know Tua needs to be protected. And I feel like Devontae Smith would be great, but Penei Sewell and Elijah Vera Tucker are better. That's where I think. I think Miami are just trying to throw Najee out there. But the remaining picks, the Vegas Raiders, they have Josh Jacobs. The Cardinals, they need a lot more problems on defense than they do on offense. The Washington football team, they need a tackle. They're not going anywhere else but a tackle. The Bears, they have a running back. The Colts, they have a fucking slew
They have
of
6 running backs.
The Tennessee Titans, they have Derrick Henry, King Henry, which means your 23rd pick, the Jets are the only team that can get a running back that you think. But they also need a tackle also.
Yeah, they've also been leading ETN.
Which means, listen, ETN and Najee Harris will be available at 23 and 24.
I still like Najee better, but having that option is nice.
Yeah, but do you not, bro? Rashawn Slater's going to be there, dog. What is wrong with people?
I think people, or especially the Steelers, are finger crossed that Alex Leatherwood is there in the second round as well. Kevin is going to be gone probably in the first round, so that's not going to be an option. But at least as of right now, from what I'm hearing from actual like legit Steelers sources, obviously not me personally, but online, is the Steelers have Najee, Tevin, the tackle from Oklahoma State, and then Landon Dickerson from Bama as their basically 1, 2, and 3 for the first round. Now, Landon Dickerson, I am very questionable of, especially for his injury history, but I wouldn't hate it in a second or third round option. My ultimate pipe dream for the Steelers would be Najee at 1, Dickerson, or excuse me, Leatherwood in the second round. Third round would be
Sorry, bro.
Landon Dickerson. No, you're good.
So what were you saying? I really apologize. I couldn't hear.
No, you're good. So again, I said the Steelers, at least right now, they have Najee at 1, Tevin at 2, Landon Dickerson is like 1, 2, 3 for the first round draft picks. Tevin, I think, is going to be gone. Najee's the best option. And
Is he? So here's my thing. Here's my biggest thing, bro. And be honest with me. I cannot definitively say Najee Harris is going to help our running game. Just hear me out.
No, I guarantee it can't, because he can help in the pass game as well as the run game.
But to pick him over a Tevin Jenkins or Leatherwood, bro.
But Tevin Jenkins probably isn't going to be around, and Alex Leatherwood could be around in the second round.
I don't see Tevin Jenkins getting picked. I see Slater being gone at 14 in Minnesota. But and then I don't know. Tevin Jenkins is very underrated. People have not. Oh no, I see. Yeah, Tevin Jenkins will be gone. Jacksonville. If we don't take Tevin Jenkins in the first round, Jacksonville will.
Yeah.
Because imagine Cam Robinson in freaking whatchamacallit. Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah. But now here's the thing. If you have ETN, Najee Harris, do you choose Najee?
Najee, yeah.
I don't know. ETN.
I like ETN. The only reason, off the top of my head, without actually like really looking at it, would just be the idea that I think Najee has less wear on him,
Right.
whereas ETN has carried the Clemson Tigers for like 3 seasons, or it feels like 6 seasons at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been around for like ever.
Yeah.
But defensively, we need depth, which you can find in like the later rounds.
Agreed.
Our glaring issue last year was run. So honestly, if, like I was saying before you came back in, if I had my grand pipe dream of things happening, kind of like whenever we got Mason Rudolph and James Washington. My biggest pipe dream right now would be Najee, Leatherwood, and then Landon Dickerson 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh.
But in the second round, if the kid from Wisconsin Whitewater, which his name's escaping me,
Quinn Meniers.
Yeah, if he's around, I'd want him because he's another guy that can play guard, center. He can pretty much play every fucking offensive line position. Yeah. I'd mainly keep him interior, but that's besides the point.
You'll take him over Landon?
Yeah, because Landon has so many injury issues.
Yeah.
He's had multiple knee issues and multiple ankle issues. which we don't need.
Agreed.
But anything else you're thinking of?
Nope, not at all, brother.
All right,
It's been a
brother.
great conversation. Oh my God, bro! I just, oh, bro, listen, I'm about to boo boo. Like I gotta go, bro.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
All right, bro.
As we know, run the damn ball. Enjoy the draft tomorrow. Again, like we talked about, again, go check out our merch. I'll post the link here in a minute. Let me see if I can do this in the chat. Go ahead, go check out the bio site, Loudmouth Entertainment. Check that out. Again, it's going to have all of our social media, all of our merch, everything Loudmouth Entertainment. Thanks for joining the show if you had to. Jason, thanks for joining the show. Everybody have a good night. Like I said, enjoy the draft tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.